Well, when I started my undergraduate career, I had never thought about singing opera before, but didn't know what else to major in, so I decided to be a vocal performance major, and I kind of threw myself into it. My first 2 years of college, I was in the chorus at the Converse Opera Theater for Copland's A Tinderland and Mozart's Così fan tutte, and then my junior year I decided to actually audition for the opera. Figured it was time, you know. So I auditioned and I got the role of Hansel in Hansel and Gretel by Humperdinck. And this year, my senior year, I went out for Dido and Aeneas and got the role of Dido. I'm very, very excited about it. When I started thinking about Dido and how her character kind of develops through the opera and how her character's been before the start of the opera, I realized just how prideful she is. She's the head of this nightclub, she's one of the heads of this powerful crime mob family, so she's had a lot of responsibility to bear in the past, and she continues to bear a lot of responsibility. And she thinks she does a good job. She's prideful about it. She's prideful of the way she runs things, the way Aeneas thinks she's so attractive, and she really kind of harnesses that pride and turns it into power, and she's not afraid to be manipulative and controlling. But at the same time, she is very anxious and she is very emotional. I mean, you'll see in the opera that she gets set off by any little thing. Her emotions change very, very rapidly. And in thinking about that, we kind of decided to bring like this psychosis style factor into my characterization of Dido. And you really see that towards the end of the opera, when her heart is broken and she just gives up on life. I mean, spoiler alert, everyone knows what happens at the end of Dido and Aeneas. I'm gonna die, so we decided to put a little twist on it and bring a little psychotic movement and action in there, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Well, there's definitely a lot going on in the suicide scene if you've ever seen a production of Dido and Aeneas. And in bringing that psychotic factor into the scene, you know, my turning point as Dido is that as soon as I slap Aeneas and he goes off stage, that slap just really breaks everything in me, and I've just decided to let go. You know, I'm done. I'm done living. I'm done trying. And from that point on, I just have resigned myself to death. I'm not going to put up a fight. I'm looking forward to it. I walk very purposefully to the table where I'm going to take my sleeping pills and overdose on them. And it's a very kind of animalistic style. I mean, Dido's not human anymore. She's snapped. And hopefully, if you come to the opera, you'll get to see that. And, you know, she's just broken even further when Belinda finds her as soon as she's taken the pills and swallowed them all. And Belinda knows what's going on because we feel that Belinda has seen Dido come to the verge of a breakdown multiple times. So this isn't anything new. This is just the last straw. This is when Dido's finally just gone over the edge. And Belinda is just aghast at what Dido's done, and you really see that in the way that Dido and Belinda interact with each other on stage. And, you know, it's a gradual thing to succumb to sleeping pills. So there are different phases, I guess, during When I Am Laid, the final aria that Dido sings, because at first, you know, she's not weak. The sleeping pills haven't really taken effect yet on the body. But as she's singing, she realizes, you know, she's getting weaker and weaker. I can't feel my arms, I can't feel my legs, and she really has to rely on Belinda to support her. And there are times when she's speaking directly to Belinda saying, you know, I hope my death doesn't cause you any trouble. Please, Belinda, you know, you're my favorite person in the world. I can't believe I've done this to you. And times where I just want to be remembered for the good I've done, for the responsibility that I've carried as the head of this family. And I don't want anyone to think ill of me for committing suicide. And then finally, you know, the pills take effect and Dido just slips into paralysis and she dies. It's quick, it's sudden, and it's over. I never had any acting experience before coming to Converse, so being involved with the Converse Opera Theater really helped me shed that sense of embarrassment that a lot of new actors have. I mean, I was really self-conscious about being vulnerable in front of people and kind of letting go and giving in to stronger emotions like anger and sadness and love. So that really helped me break down the bonds that I felt tied me to myself, and instead of letting my character shine through. So it's been everything to me being a part of the Converse Opera Theater in terms of my growth and development. I'm definitely more comfortable being myself in front of people, expressing the crazier side of myself in front of people, and public speaking. I mean, even this interview, don't know if I could have done that before. So it's been fantastic. I couldn't have asked for a better experience with the Converse Opera Theater. My last thought for you as a viewer of this video is I really hope that you come to our show. We've been working very hard since August to memorize our music, to stage our blocking, to develop our own personal characters, because the show is double cast. Gives us a lot of room for creative license in terms of developing ourselves into these characters. And you all know that a show is nothing without its audience. So how can we put on our best performance with nobody sitting out there? I mean, it's really up to you guys to come out and buy a ticket, get yourself a seat in Daniel, and see what all the fuss is about.